Welcome back to Naledi in Soweto, and this of course is the area in which an unspeakable tragedy played out, where 6 young children lost their lives after allegedly consuming contaminated snacks that were bought from a local Spaza shop. So we've spoken to the police, we've spoken to the authorities. We did manage to get the provincial commissioner in touch with the father that we spoke to earlier, and of course following up on that, because one of the complaints has been that there hasn't been regular feedback to the families, and of course the police commissioner also just explaining to the father that the toxicology reports and such is the domain of the Department of Health, but of course they will endeavor to try and get some answers to the families as soon as possible. But we continue trying to just get to the bottom of what is going on. You heard from the police commissioner as well, the provincial commissioner, about the arrests that were affected, and we asked questions about this particular Spaza shop behind me and its compliance, and we are told that yes, it did have a certificate of compliance, and in fact everything was in order. We also told that this shop was being rented from a young man who lives in the house next to it, and he is of course taking care of this house that belonged to his grandparents, and the owner of the Spaza shop has been operating on these premises for about 12 years. So in continuing to get some response and questions and answers that are coming through from the broader community as well, we are now joined by Mr. Johannes Mangaba, who's the Naledi Community leader, just to find out from him in terms of the relationship, Mr. Mangaba, good morning, between the operators of Spaza shops in the area and the community. How would you describe that relationship?
The relationship is not good, ma'am, because these people, they've been selling spoiled goods to our people. It started 2 years ago, the same year, October month. So we lost 2 kids, the same as we have lost these 6 kids. So we had several meetings with the community members here because we wanted their responses since these things has happened. So now the response was that these people must go and must be replaced with our own people because they are tired of one of these things that are happening. So meaning that Naledi is a dump area where they dump spoiled foods here. So we don't want to see this anymore. We are tired now. After all this has happened, we are going to sit down with the community, all the community, then we'll discuss about this thing, about the way forward. After the government has given us the report about those 66 kids. Yeah.
So in terms of the community sentiment as it stands right now, you're saying the community is tired, you no longer want foreign-owned businesses to operate in the area. Am I understanding you correctly, and what does that mean? Because we saw the shops have been closed, people have fled the area. Will they be allowed to come back?
It is not wise for the authority to allow them to come back. The reason being, again, the second option is that our people networks, they don't work. We used to have our own people operating Spaza shops in these areas. So then they came. After they came, they started to reduce the prices. So now we started to suffer this consequence of them of reducing the prices. Now our people are not buying from us anymore. They buy from them. So our people depend on these things. I want to work. So that's the most reason that they must leave. Okay. Ngiyabona leyo ukuthi poison what is. That one, the authority, they are busy on it. So after the board authority, they are busy on it, will wait for their report of what had happened, who is the perpetrator, what step have they taken. But now we as community leaders, we won't stand this anymore. It's for a second time. Because if we don't deal with this now, it will happen again. Because it seems this is a dumping area for those goods. Yeah. So I think our relationship with these people is not good. It's not good. Since we have this 6 children,
Mr. Johannes Mangaba, Naledi Community leader, and you heard him say there they would prefer for foreign nationals who own Spaza shops not to return, says the relationship between them and the local community is not a good one. Well, I'm joined now by Mr. Amir Sheikh, who is the chairperson of Africa Diaspora Forum. Good morning and thanks for joining us. Community leader Mr. Mangaba saying the relationship between foreign nationals who run Spaza shops in this area, in Naledi, and the community are fraught. It's not a good relationship. What is your sense of it?
No, thank you very much, Sister Sakina. First of all, may I send my condolence to the family of 5 and the young, actually, Katleho Oliphant, who is now actually late also. Our sincere, heartfelt condolence to the whole community of Naledi and Soweto. But after that, the relation needs to be actually improved, and there must be a means and way of improving it. You can't come into a community and do business and the relationship is not actually right. So it is upon actually the community and the community leader of Naledi, and we respect any decision, we will respect any decision that they take collectively, and if they do not actually want, we can't force them to be here, and then the demand of the community must be respected.
So just in terms of the operator of this particular shop that is alleged to be the scene from where the children allegedly bought the contaminated snacks, do you know any further details about the said person?
We have actually had to look for him. We are told that the owner is actually Daniel, a native of Ethiopia, and he has been with this community for more than 13 years, actually having married from here with a wife from actually the area who have given him a baby, a daughter, and actually a daughter from previous actually marriage. He seems to have actually integrated with them for quite some while, but his way about and now actually we cannot actually say. As for actually what happened, though actually we do not condone any act of illegality, but at least the onus still lies with the city of the Johannesburg. You had and you have now interviewed the environmental health practitioners. It is upon them. They are undercapacitated. Only 33 actually officials, inspectors, in actually a city of Johannesburg that have got over 135 districts, or actually ward, it's really actually happening. But if they come on board and they were doing actually a constant, almost everyday inspection, this incident that happened a few weeks ago, and the incident of last year that have happened also on this same street could not have happened, and these lives actually that we have lost of innocent young children could have been avoided.
So just in terms of, and I hear you when you speak about the city having to do their work and their part, but in terms of the business owners, the entrepreneurs, them and ensuring the safety of their customers who come to patronize their shops, how do you respond to the community and just people in general saying that they are sold subpar stuff, sometimes stuff that is expired, they don't know, they don't understand where it is that foreign national shop owners buy their stock from and where they get these things from. What is your response to that?
Sincerely speaking, any item that is sold in these shops, which falls under the category of the fast-moving consumable goods, first of all must be verifiable. They must buy from a reputable places, and it must be actually easy for actually public scrutiny. If these three are actually absent, then it means that they can sell anything, and they are jeopardizing not only the lives of the local community, but also that of themselves. And it's something that at least the law enforcement that have been here, the environment health, the community leaders, my elder, need to actually do, so that at least we make sure what we sell is to our consumers is something that is edible and we ourselves can help. It's unfortunate the city of Johannesburg have got a hotline for dumping site. If you dump your waste anywhere, there is a hotline that the local community can call immediately, and GMBD official will be dispatched. Very unfortunate. The community can see what is happening in the shop, but unfortunate there is no hotline that they can report immediately. So there is priority given more by the city and the environmental health and the Johannesburg as a city to a dumping site or actually a garbage. But when it comes to edible food, it's unfortunate, and really it's heartbreaking to see this, because this is not the only incident happening here. There was a report in Sakane, there was a report in Kwatema, there was a report also across in areas like Mudansane, Mfuleni, actually Yanga and Langa in the Western Cape. So these issues is a national crisis and the government must deal with it.
But as the Diaspora Forum, and I hear you, you're absolutely right, government has to deal with it, but do you also not have a vested interest in ensuring that this sort of thing does not happen, that it's not perpetrated by people in the diaspora here in South Africa, because it tarnishes your reputation overall as well?
I think you heard the environmental health practitioner. In 2018, we translated the essential bylaws into vernacular so that the members will not say we were not educated, we are not aware, we are ignorant about this. One thing that you cannot do, and you know it is common sense need to apply here, you can't have your detergent where you have your food. That is unfortunate. You can't sell rat poisons or something that will actually jeopardize or actually kill somebody. So all this education aspect, we assisted them. We translated the essential bylaws into vernacular, but unfortunately the city is not coming on board to play its role.
So there you heard it, and the Diaspora Forum through Mr. Amir Sheikh saying they have done what they can. They've translated the bylaws into the various vernacular languages for foreign nationals. They've spoken to some of these members, but of course they say the government has to do their bit, play their part. And as we close this, I'm just going to call Mr. Msimango once again, the father of the late 7-year-old Njabulo, who was one of the children who was one of the victims after consuming snacks allegedly bought from this particular shop. So we've tried to get answers for you this morning, Mr. Msimango. What's your response to what we did here today, and of course the answers that you were able to get?
Thank you very much once again. Look, they will say what they want to say, you know, because of at times they are in media. But the major thing, how long will it take to get the feedback? That's the question of which, you know, I'll phrase out there. How long will it take us to get all the feedbacks, you know, from all the stakeholders? And another thing, I would like to thank, you know, a certain political party. I don't want even to mention it. They were on board. They really help us. If it wasn't them, look, it was a disaster. You know, once again, I'd like to thank the SABC of everything that they did. Hopefully we'll get answers out there. Thank you very much.
And that, of course, Mr. Thabo Msimango, the father of the late Njabulo Msimango, one of the children, one of the 6 children who passed on after consuming contaminated snacks. We've tried to cast that net as widely as we can, tried to get some answers, but of course it will remain a blame game, and those children and their families deserve justice, and we'll stay on the story until that actually happens. So from Naledi, we have to leave it here for this morning.